Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Compare rates from top term life insurance companies in seconds at Xander.com.
So my wife and I, when we got married, we started traveling in the oil field working, and started out making $20 an hour or whatever, and have moved to this job, moved to that job, all over the country about 8 times. We're 27 now. When we started when we were about 19, and in that, comes moving and keeping, and we have kids. We have 2 children, so we've been keeping them away from other family as well, not on purpose, but just the nature of the job, traveling with work. So I have in-laws that are sometimes seem a little bitter about that. But the first overall question, I guess, is at what point, because I can stay home and make 50, 60, maybe 70,000 a year doing what I do. But if I travel like I am now, I'm making about 200,000 right now. So, obviously a significant difference. And the question is, where is that fine line with greed?
Of just chasing money to chase money, just make more money to make more money. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where that switch is, because like the caller before, I have I feel like I'm as good a father as any, or I definitely try to be. And right now I'm going from home about 4 days a week, and we just moved home last year, and so they're staying at home, and I'm traveling back and forth, every 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a hard lifestyle to sustain for a long period of time with a family.
Yes.
In general, right?
How old are the kiddos?
4 and 6 months.
Okay. And your wife is at home and you are traveling, and that affects the in-laws how?
So, and I apologize, I got a little confusing there. So for up until December of last year, we were traveling and we were on the road, and we just moved back home 9 months ago.
Okay. So for the last 9 months, the in-laws, if they want to see the kids, just get up and come over there.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. So they've been able to do that, I hope?
They have.
Okay, cool. And if you were traveling, you were in another city, you were there for weeks on end, were you not, before December?
Yes, sir. Correct.
So if you're in XYZ
with,
city
with
for
the
4,
family.
Yeah, if you're in XYZ city for 4 or 5 weeks with the family, the in-laws could come there.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So I think the in-laws they have their own issues.
Yeah.
They have their own issues.
I don't think his question was about the in-laws.
Well, they have accused him of being greedy. I think that's between the lines.
Oh, is that what it is?
Not verbally, but it's one of those things you can't pinpoint.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get to see. It's not
that.
convenient for us to come see the kids when we want to, the way we want to, because of the way you work. So we're going to run down the way you work. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
That's what I heard.
Oh.
Okay.
I was reading between the lines.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. So the thing you got to go back to is this. I only recommend term life insurance because it's simple, affordable coverage, and you should get it only from Xander Insurance because they work for you, not the insurance companies. Xander compares all the top term plans to save you money so you don't get ripped off with insurance that they market like a so-called investment. Term from Xander is the only life insurance I would get from my family. It's all I've ever bought and all I've ever recommended. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282. The thing you got to go back to is this. There is, Rachel and I did a book on parenting, and one of the things we said to teach kids is contentment, because godliness with contentment is great gain. And a lot of people get really confused about the subject of contentment. They think ambition and contentment are on the same line, and ambition is on one end and contentment is on the other. I beg to differ. I'm highly ambitious, and I'm very content. They're not on the same spectrum. They're not one end of the line or the other end. They're different lines. And so you can be a good dad, you can be a great dad, and be working your tail end off. As a matter of fact, generally, great dads do that. And so, greed is not an amount of money. It is not. It is a state of your heart and why you're chasing the money. If you're saying for a couple of years, I'm going to burn the oil so that I don't have to the rest of my life, burn the oil, that's a good metaphor for you. But I'm gonna turn up the heat. No, we don't want to do that either over there. But whatever it is, we're going to work really hard for a couple of years so that we can make different choices later.
Mm-hmm.
That's paying a price to win. That's going in the weight room and lifting weights so during the football game I can actually knock someone over. Okay? I'm paying a price here to win. There's a amount of work that has to be done to lay a foundation to go somewhere. If that's what you're doing, that's ambition. That is not greed. Mm-hmm. Greed is unbridled ambition for the wrong reasons, where you think more money is going to make you happy. You think more money is the end all. You think money is a god that you're worshiping. Instead, you could say, I want some more money, not because I want more money, but because of what it does for me and my family. I want to change my family tree. I don't want these kids to have to worry about food or shoes. So I'm going to, or college, or the first car, or whatever it is. I mean, we're going to get in a position that we can make choices and money don't cause us to. I used to work for a guy who said, I want to make enough money that I can read the menu left to right instead of starting with the price. Right, on the right side. Most people read the menu from the price over and then decide what they're going to get. He goes, I'm going to read what I want to read and and then order, and then I'll figure out what it costs. But because it's not going to make a so that's what you're that's what you're all about there, Brady. And the other thing I've found in coaching people all these years, people that ask a question like you asked about greed are never greedy people.
Mm-hmm.
Greedy people would never ask the question because it doesn't occur to them that their worldview is skewed and screwed up. Instead, you're actually weighing out my values. I'm spending a lot of time. I'm gone 4 days. I got littles, and this is bothering me. Well, a guy that asks that question is not a greedy person by definition. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And so greed is not going to be your issue. Now, do you want to adjust some of your goals and your values and say, okay, I'm going to work on my career to where in the next 18, 24 months, I can be home and make 100 instead of being on the road and making 200, or instead of coming home and making 50.
Right. Yes, sir.
I don't know what that looks like or how you do that, but I'm going to start to have that goal where I can come home and make.
Yeah, I was going to say, being gone 3 to 4 days a week, that's hard with little ones. And so...
unless you see an end to it very quickly. If you say, I'm going to do it for 1 more year, and then I'm going to take... And then by then, I'm going to have a landing pad where I can come back home, and I'm going to cut my income in half, but I'm going to be home.
Yeah, and you guys are still so young, Brady, that there's an off-ramp. Like, maybe you guys take a season, and you're off the road, and then the kids hit middle school, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to shift back on and turn it back up and do this new thing for 2 to 3 years, and then you're done. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes we make decisions that feels like forever, and it's not. It's not at all. I mean, I've done that with my career. I pulled back some after the 3rd kid, and you know what I mean? Like, you can make adjustments as life comes, and I don't know. There's a level of that flexibility that I don't want you to feel like you're stuck, and you make a decision. You're not stuck.
Yeah.
And so
and you're not greedy.
No.
100% chance you're not greedy. Okay. So, just because somebody's a travel agent for guilt trips, that doesn't mean you're greedy. Okay, so but I would have a plan.
Yeah, have a plan about
where
it.
This is not where it starts to bother you and bother me is if it's in perpetuation, if it's forever and ever. Let's have a plan where we're not doing this a whole life. We're doing this for a period of time to never have to do it again. If anyone depends on your income, you need affordable term life. Never cash value insurance. Visit Xander.com today for quotes.